Karma is the guy on the trees.
A bold move there by Taylor Swift to change the lyrics of her hit song Karma. Give a shout out to her new boyfriend, Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. If you saw one thing from Argentina, it was probably that. Let's flip the video. Watch Taylor's dad next to him. Just as excited for Travis, and they just met the night before. So, it's like it's going well. Here's Taylor running into his arms. It's a love story. Baby just said. Yeah, not quite yet. I have a ton of unseen moments coming up. If you saw just how many angles there are of Travis Kelce watching Taylor Swift, you would not believe it. There were 2 stages that night, for sure. All the details of Travis Kelce's visit, including the plane he rode down there on, and what he had to say after returning home from the trip. Argentina was an eventful stop on the Eras Tour, even aside from the Travis Kelce spectacle. This is a country known for its passionate crowds, and even Taylor was taken aback, saying she should not have waited so long to visit that country for the first time. And if you are following along with the tour at all, this was the second stop on the Latin American leg of the tour. After Mexico City, there was a 2-month break in between. We'll take a look at some new tour outfits that debuted, a refresh on this leg of the tour. Also, all 6 surprise songs, including a surprise with the surprise songs that I don't think anyone saw coming. And I want to know your favorite in the comment section. Let me know. Mine is One Off Reputation, that on the piano sounded amazing. And check out the media coverage. It was a spectacle surrounding Taylor's visit. It highlighted something that she has to stop doing. She's starting to look ridiculous, and I say that with love. Let's dive right in. Talk about the ultimate hype up. Flying into Buenos Aires, Argentina. Take a look at the stadium there, the largest stadium in South America, with 70,000 fans attending the Eras Tour each night. As it resumed the Latin American leg of the Eras Tour, this is the second stop on that leg after Mexico back in August. Such was the excitement for Taylor's first visit to Argentina ever that some fans camped out for 5 months. 60 people per tent in rotations, all so they could be, look at this, the running of the Swifties, so they could be close to the stage for precisely this moment.
That I have ever even visited Argentina. And I am looking out into possibly what might be one of the most epic crowds to ever exist. Buenos Aires, bienvenidos a Eras Tour!
Night 1 in Argentina, right off the top, you can see a new wardrobe has been added. New pink outfits that you're looking at debuted on this leg of the tour, a nice refresh. Custom Versace. People were calling it Barbie pink or flamingo pink. Either way, it really pops on stage. This is the second color refresh we've seen on the tour so far. Not all those outfits are new there, but it does complete the pink set. The blue, of course, in LA. The blue, of course, was in honor of 1989, Taylor's version. After a 2-month break, there were bound to be little hiccups here and there.
2 months off. I practiced this so many times before tonight. You thought you came here to see a professional.
The Wind, Night 1, gave us this magical shot.
The album Midnights, it just...
While down there, Taylor got word that Midnights was nominated for 6 Grammys. She thanked the fans and did this little Grammy dance. She also chastised the crowd at one point for throwing things on the stage in the nicest way possible.
Just because communication means having gentle, healthy boundaries, it really freaks me out when stuff gets thrown on the stage.
Argentina continues a new tradition for the international shows. And the red era also marks the return of a tour-long tradition of bringing her hat during 22 to the end of the stage for a waiting child, usually, and giving it to them. The only really one-on-one interaction we're seeing with fans on this tour, because Taylor's not doing meet and greets this tour, so this is kind of taking the place of that, and their faces are always so cute. They're so excited to see her. Taylor is like goodwill ambassador to the entire world right now. The tour might as well be sponsored by the United Nations. Along those lines, Taylor's getting more comfortable dropping Spanish here and there. Things got a little witchy during the Evermore section. This got a lot of attention online. This is like right on the line of super fun if you're there, but you're walking into a trap of online ridicule. You know, Swifties being a cult. Whatever, who cares? At many stops along the Eras Tour, fans have been self-organizing just on the internet ahead of time, these fan projects. And here in Argentina, you can see everyone holding up signs. They did theirs during the Archer. The lyrics of the Archer say, "Who could ever leave me, darling? But who could stay?" And the signs say, "We will stay." Travis Kelce even held one up. Taylor clearly saw and acknowledged the fan project. You'll see her mouth here, "I love them." And te amo. Listen to this crowd. Frequently breaking out into chants, whether it was her name or Ole Ole Ole. Here you're seeing some fan art that Argentinian Swifties made ahead of her arrival. To say they were excited to be hosted, Taylor doesn't even do it justice. They were truly honored. It was a source of national pride. The locals say this is a reception reserved usually just for the soccer greats.
Wow, guys.
Like Lionel Messi.
I love it. I love it when you ole ole ole.
I heard that you guys were camping out.
I didn't believe it until I saw video.
The fact that we get to be up here for a crowd this passionate, this generous.
It was Taylor mania ahead of her arrival. Wall-to-wall coverage, every angle you can possibly imagine. On the bottom left there, they got a hold of her rider, which is, you know, what she requested her dressing room ahead of her arrival. 100 bottles of wine, 100 bottles of champagne, 300 bottles of water. She's thirsty. Taylor wants the dressing room to be decorated with fresh flowers and crystals. You know, simple girl.
Es Taylor Swift, es una reina.
As for food, the only specific request is Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I feel like that's not that bad, you know, for a rock star. What is that bad is this. Taylor Swift's arrival, the most famous woman in the world, biggest pop star ever, selling out 3 sold-out nights at the largest stadium in South America, and that is your first impression. Umbrella lady? Really, Taylor Swift? You look ridiculous, and what purpose is this serving? We know it's you. You know, she's acting like this is a private island that she's going on vacation at, and the paparazzi found her, so she's trying to stay undetected. No, girl, your visit's been announced for months. This is like a state visit. Start waving the minute you get off the plane. Her visit was so anticipated and well-publicized that neighboring countries had launched PR campaigns to get her to come to them on the next tour. She was named an official guest of honor by the local legislature. Taylor Swift even became a central figure in the presidential election that was happening a week later, as Swifties used the Eras Tour to try to galvanize young voters. And there she is, your revered, celebrated, powerful guest of honor. Like, come on, Taylor Swift, this is beneath you. You know, I understand if after a long flight you don't feel camera ready, but throw on a hat, maybe put on a sweatshirt with the Argentine colors on it if you really want to go all out, give the crowd a wave, and keep it moving. And they are quick over in Argentina. Check out the Taylor Swift Eras Tour toy. Wouldn't necessarily call it an action hero, but maybe it's an anti-hero. And you can't make this up, but look at the writing on the plane behind her. I verified this. This is real. It's an Iranian protest, but no woman should be forced to cover her head. We agree, Taylor. You're doing this to yourself. It was all for nothing anyway, because it turns out even Taylor Swift can't avoid passport control. Taylor stayed at the Four Seasons in Buenos Aires, and as you can see, had a presidential-style motorcade like we saw in Mexico, with police escorts, streets closed off. Some have been critical of this, saying, you know, why does Taylor Swift get a presidential motorcade? Why wouldn't she get a presidential motorcade? She's the most famous woman in the world. Highly anticipated visit. Protect her at all costs. Heck, presidents have vice presidents, okay? There's a backup for the president. The real question we should ask ourselves is, why do presidents get a Taylor Swift motorcade?
How could they can you?
Sabrina Carpenter continued as opener on the Latin American leg.
I said Sabrina. Saw that obelisco, said que linda. Who's the loudest here in Argentina? I'm falling.
People were reading a lot into the surprise songs chosen over these 3 days and whether they related to Travis Kelce or not. This is Labyrinth on night 1. This is a pretty strong case, I think. Talk about timing here. On Guitar Night 1, the very first night, which is a vault track off of Red Taylor's version. So this was the first time either of those songs had been performed live before. Night 2 began with a thank you. 1989 Taylor's version had just come out the week before. To celebrate, Taylor played the #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 that week, which was a vault track from that album. Is It Over Now? Oh, but wait, a surprise twist. First and only mashup of the surprise songs with Out of the Woods from the original 1989. Probably about the same X. Night 2 on the piano, Endgame from Reputation. This was the night Travis Kelce was in the audience, so many are speculating this could be their song. Either way, it's one of my favorite songs, and I think is really elevated on the piano. Speaking of Reputation, you hear the crowd chanting on night 3. The crowd was chanting Reputation, 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 thinking that there was going to be some release. She just released 1989 Taylor's version the week before. Some of you guys clown around so much with these Easter eggs and convince yourself of things. She doesn't even say anything, just ignores it.
Now go stand in the corner and think about what you
For Better Than Revenge, Taylor sings the new version, while the crowd sings the old verse over her. The old version works because Slut appears to be the theme of night 3. Slut, the vault track from 1989, as the final song here. Is she drunk in love? Was that song about Travis? Are they all about Travis? Who knows? But this is Travis arriving on Friday. Arriving on one of Taylor's planes, the smaller of her 2 planes. I was wondering how that would work. You know, he's got money, but not private jet money, and they only did a quick 48 hours. So it looks like Mama Swift, Sugar Mama Swift sent the jet. Look at the side-by-side here of his arrival versus her arrival. And his was the bigger surprise. We knew she was coming for months. Okay, I'll let it go. On Friday, I guess this is lucky for them, right? That it rained on Friday, so it ended up being a postponed show, which meant that they got the night in to themselves. They had dinner at the hotel, at the Four Seasons Hotel restaurant, and they were joined by Taylor's dad. First time that Taylor's dad had ever met Travis. Hola! They apparently hit it off, because Scott Swift used to play college ball. Who knew? Taylor was apparently adamant about not going out on this night. So many people were having to rebook travel plans because of the postponed show, and she didn't like the way it would look.
Love you too, Travis.
Argentina, are you ready to go back to high school with me?
Fans in Argentina are legendary for their excitement and energy and passion. Looking at this, I know why now. Have you ever seen a Love Story mosh pit before? Of course, there were a ton of proposals during Love Story, and I wasn't going to show any until I saw this one. They both were planning to propose to each other at the concert. How sweet is that? And finally, the whole world got to watch Travis and Taylor's love story continue to play out. Travis Kelce arrived during the intro, and he watched the show from the VIP tent next to Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor's dad, who he seemed to really hit it off with. And for Saturday's show, it certainly felt like there were two stages, the one Taylor was on and the one Travis was watching from. He was having a good time singing along, dancing, and the way he looked at her, I mean, he was so smitten. Honestly, you would not believe how many angles I could find of him. It's unbelievable, actually. Every Swiftie had their camera facing both directions. So what did he think?
Stadium was unbelievable. No, I was blown away. It was an electric crowd, too. Even more electric, knowing that I had a little bit more to enjoy for.
In a stadium of 70,000 people, it sometimes felt like Taylor was performing for an audience of one. That is, until the one-word lyric change heard around the world.
Mama is the guy on the cheese.
And while Travis says he did get a heads up,
When I heard it come out of her mouth, still shocked me. And
Yeah, you could tell in the video.
I was like,
it was pretty.
oh, she really just said
You were
that.
so
All right.
shocked.
so surprised he left Papa Swift hanging for a high five.
Yeah, Mr. Swift, I apologize, big guy. Oh, man, I missed that. I never miss a high five, too. Big high five guy.
Here's that big lyric change moment. One more time, different angles.
Mama is the guy on the cheese.
Look at the way he looks at her, so proud as the show ends. After she says goodbye there, they do a final curtain call with the dancers and stuff. He waited until literally she left the stage, watching every last second before doing a little happy dance to go meet her. And watch as Taylor's dad tells him where to stand to wait for her. Taylor's dad is normally the one to hug Taylor after every single show. He goes to every show as far as I know. And instead he tells Travis where to stand and then steps behind the curtain and lets them have one moment. Which to me, this is the biggest sign of approval. That he's willing to let Travis fill in his role as the first person to greet Taylor backstage after the show. If you hated the guy, you would not be watching your daughter hug him and kiss him right there. You'd already be further back in the curtain. They wasted no time heading back to the hotel. Taylor didn't even bother changing. And I don't see Dad going back with them. Let me know what you thought of the Argentina stop of the tour. The surprise songs, if you had any favorites, and also that umbrella disguise. Am I the only one who thinks it's ridiculous? Next stop is Rio de Janeiro. Some began calling it Rio Hell Janeiro. Things took a dark turn in Rio very quickly. If you enjoyed the video, please throw me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And share it if you want. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be recapping every country visited on the Eras Tour. Next stop is Brazil.